So there's been a request for a Bill Cosby update and commentary. I say more commentary because the people that asked already know what's going on. But many may not, because outlets are still lying to you about this case, and what's happening now is shocking. And every bit of this new development is true. In a nutshell, Bill Cosby's insurer, AIG, is paying settlements to Bill Cosby's accusers against Bill Cosby's will and without his consent. Even the ones with cases dismissed for lying. And I kid you not. Most recently, AIG just awarded Chloe Goins. It's already been established that Bill Cosby has never even met Chloe Goins. Yet with absolutely no evidence, a dismissed case, and an inconsistent story, she was still able to get onto Dr. Phil and now win a settlement with a dismissed case. And I repeat again, they are doing this without Bill Cosby's consent because he maintains his innocence and he wants to fight these cases. But AIG is paying these women anyway. So for AIG to be moving speedily while Bill Cosby's in jail to hurry up and pay off these women, that's letting a lot of people know, if they didn't know before, that something weird is going on here. And things are getting even worse. And it keeps on looking more and more like a lot of backroom dealing and corruption. So for those of you unfamiliar with Chloe Goins, let's recap. She was one of the ones that initially they were going to try to run with because her allegations were within the statutes of limitation, but her story tanked. She lied and she lied and she tried to revise her story. And then to make money elsewhere, and I also kid you not, she's the one that made the Bill Cosby diss track. And now pretty much AIG is just handing out checks to these accusers, and Chloe Goins just stepped in line to get hers. So since AIG decided to pay her settlement money, one might assume, hey, maybe something changed in her case. No, not at all. In fact, it's worse. So let's go back over everything about this allegation. The media kept referring to her as a model when that's not what she was. She was a woman of the night and an exotic dancer, but that's just for starters. At any rate, her mistake was that she chose a specific date, time, and themed party. The Midsummer Night's Dream Party at the Playboy Mansion, Los Angeles, California, in August of 2008. However, those same dates and times have Bill Cosby in New York City. So after she got bagged, she changed her story and said she wasn't sure, but it was definitely the summer of 2008. But Bill Cosby's a very famous man with an itinerary that proved that wasn't true. So she switched it up again and said that it was February of 2008 because I guess somebody in her camp did a little intel. So she said definitely the summer of 2008 and then switched to February in the winter of 2008 because I guess a little bird told her that Bill Cosby was there then. But that was a lie too, because Bill Cosby wasn't there then either. He was just on the guest list, and they screwed up. So Chloe Goins is a liar, and then she dropped her own case. Now let's take a look at a snippet of a video I did about this years ago. Let's start with the most conspicuous case of false reporting and deception. The latest and perhaps the most serious case was that of former Playboy model Chloe Goins.
This has been how many years?
It's been almost 7 years now.
He brought you something to drink, right?
Yes.
How long after you were given that did you feel any effect? Was it immediately or was it half hour, hour?
It was very quick afterwards.
And he offered to assist you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Her case was the most serious because hers still fell within the statute of limitations. However, Chloe Goins totally goofed and her case fell flat. Goins, who is a convicted prostitute, picked a bad day and chose an event Cosby didn't even attend, as she gave an elaborate story about how she was drugged at this event by Cosby. It came to light that in the days before, during, and after, Cosby was approximately 2,500 miles away in another state.
She does not claim Cosby raped her. She does not claim Cosby raped her. She does not claim Cosby raped her, but her attorney. The LAPD has finished its investigation and has turned it over to the DA.
Everything Chloe Goins alleged was impossible and did not happen. When Cosby's lawyers at the time presented this to the authorities, her lawyer released a statement about her memory due to trauma, and then she slithered away. No one has condemned her, and the media left it alone. TMZ did expose this, but other big networks like CNN, NBC, they all left it alone. So you'd think it would be over for her, right? Nope. We're living in a time in which false accusers have options now. And she and her lawyers devised a way to come on back. And things are even worse. None of what I'm about to say is slander. It's just things that they're not really promoting and telling you. Chloe Goins is also a criminal who's supposed to be in jail right now. Many might remember in July 2017, she was arrested for trying to smuggle drugs and alcohol into jail. The drug was heroin. And so she was arrested in the parking lot of the George F. Bailey Detention Center in San Diego. But for some strange reason, I don't know, you can take a guess why, they decided to pull a Jussie Smollett. Even though she was caught in what they initially believed was an attempt to smuggle heroin into the jail, which would have produced at least 2 felony charges. Possession of a controlled substance, that's number 1. Transporting it to the jail, number 2. Pretty cut and dry, no way around that. But hold on, miraculously, they decided to drop everything and let her go. And now, after they threw Bill Cosby in jail with no evidence, she's lining up to get a check. You can't make these things up. This is the state of America today. So let's talk about it. Most people in America believe Bill Cosby to be a serial rapist, even though he did not get charged or convicted for rape. And either way, truth be told, there was no proof or evidence of anything anyway. I do not believe him to be guilty, but I do understand that people, the vast majority, are completely media programmed. Most people will not think in any other direction. And it is what it is. Obviously, I don't agree, but I respect that as a given. So despite differing opinions, let me just say what's not negotiable. The time for sugarcoating things and being all PC is over. As a society, we've allowed things to get very much out of control, so I'm no longer going to mince words. The worst has already happened, so let's just call a spade right now. During his trial, many of his accusers were being protected by the system. That's probably why Chloe Goins didn't go to jail. They did not want you to know anything about their pasts or who these people were accusing him. Goins is not even the only one with criminal scrapes with the law. These things just weren't being reported to the same degree, and they were being covered up. Just believe women. Most people did not hear about all these shenanigans happening behind the scenes. Fast forward to the trial with Andrea Constand. First time, the case was dropped. The second time, it was a mistrial, so they threw him in court again. And finally, they did it. He was found guilty via the word of someone who was lying. Andrea Constand's stories did not add up. They were extremely inconsistent since a decade ago when it was first dropped. And her stories were still inconsistent to this day. Regardless, because of this wild, emotional, and extremely dangerous victim culture we are now mired in, at 81 years old, they were pretty much able to just push him into jail based on popular opinion and emotion. No facts. No evidence, no consistent stories, no proof. To destroy a career and throw someone in prison in 2019. You just need to come forward. If you don't remember stuff, you don't have any evidence, you get tripped up, don't worry about it. Half of society has already got your back. And they may attack those who don't just believe. And even though I've always maintained my position that he was innocent and proved it, I can respect that most people think he is guilty because I'm a realist and I do understand the climate that we're in. I completely understand that not everyone's up to speed with what's really going on with American media right now. It is infested with lies and agendas and spin. And a lot of your average everyday folks, well, they don't know that. And when people don't really understand how bad it is, they'll never catch what's happening. And I'm not trying to sound like an elitist, but just being a realist. Not everyone's thinking clearly for a variety of reasons. People are very busy and distracted, so they just trust what they see in the news. And that is exactly the way they want it. So it's very natural that people are going to fall the way of popular opinion. However, there is no explanation for this. Chloe Goins, an already exposed liar being paid money while Bill Cosby's in jail, is a testament to the demonic energy that has taken over this country. Any review of his trial will show you that he was pushed into jail unconstitutionally because Andrea Constand did not prove her case beyond a reasonable doubt because she flip-flopped multiple times. That's Law 101. Plus, she had no evidence. It was a he say, she say case, and she was inconsistent, so that should have been it. So while they pushed him in jail, and he's busy now fighting his appeal, AIG, his insurer, is just paying off his accusers now. And if you see the lineup of some of these women, they are people who have no case. Wake up and think. Chloe Goins is a career criminal who was caught lying and withdrew her case. What does she even have a defamation suit for? Years ago, someone like this wouldn't dare step into a courtroom. But this is how emboldened evil is right now, tucked into this socially engineered victim culture. Now, if this does not show you that there's corruption involved, I really don't know what else will. Early on, many of us were trying to pound the drums and sound the alarms, trying to warn you what was coming down the pike. But people didn't listen. Now things are flying out of control at lightning speed. New cases of other people are being rehashed and relitigated with the same strategies, and things are a mess. The reason why people like Chloe Goins and a growing list of many others keep getting away with this is because victim culture has become a full-on business. None of this is about justice for victims. It's about money for false accusers and their lawyers who keep pushing this stuff through, and all the collaborators and the media outlets who profit from and enjoy the sensationalism and consequently become accomplices to these crimes. So they keep selling the lies and hide the truth. At some point, people are gonna have to finally get out of their emotions and break the brainwashing and social engineering and decide when enough is enough.